Don't have that attitude that, oh, they're not paying me, I'm not going to share it. What strategies are helping creators do that this year?
If I look on someone's page and their likes and their comments are hidden, goodbye.
Welcome back to Call Her Creator, the podcast that helps you turn your content into cash and build a business doing what you love. Today's guest is someone who lives and breathes the influencer industry, Sarah Boyd. Sarah is the co-CEO and CRO of the Digital Department, a leading full-service influencer marketing and talent management firm providing brand strategy and creator representation. In 2016, with the rise of influencer marketing, Sarah started managing some of the most sought after celebrity influencers. Her current and past client roster includes Alessandra Ambrosio, Jamie Chung, Olivia Culpo, Julianne Hough, Lauren Bushnell Lane, Jano Kramer. The list goes on, guys. She is incredible. Sarah and her team have helped shape what brand partnerships should look like in 2025. And today she's here to pull back that curtain just a little bit and give us a peek into what goes on in the creator economy. Sarah, welcome to Call Her Creator.
Thank you so much for having me. Excited to be here.
Yay, me too, me too. Okay, so I was telling Sarah before we pressed record, I was already stalking all of her socials and finding out what all she does. So before we dive into everything, I always like to find out like your back end story. Like before you started this incredible business, where were you at to begin with?
Yeah, I actually started before social media.
Woo.
Um, I, I went to college in Philadelphia and graduated in 2004 and moved to Los Angeles. It was my dream forever to move to LA. So I moved there right after I graduated and I worked in fashion PR. So my day to day was really just representing a lot of fashion brands that wanted to get in magazines on celebrities. So a lot of working with stylists. There were no influencers back then. There was no social media. So the influencers were really celebrities, the magazine editors, and working with them on a day-to-day basis and really just building my network in LA for those first 9 years. And then I started my own business called Simply, which was a fashion and beauty conference. And I call myself the dot connector. I love connecting people, kind of being the behind the scenes person to bring people together. So that was really the mission for Simply, my conference. And it was kind of the first of its kind. It was a great way to bring people together and connect people. Like I had a sister that got me in the industry, and a lot of people I met didn't have that connection or handshake that they needed to get their start. So I started it very bootstraps with like a few $1,000s to my name. And the first one was really a success. And we had, we ended up growing it to host it in Dubai, LA, New York, Chicago, all over. We had tens of thousands of people attend this conference, incredible brands, incredible speakers. And it was just my dream and actually made it come true. So I built that. And as I was building it, I started understanding that the digital landscape was really booming. And a lot of my connections were these celebrity creators. And well, they weren't creators at the time, they were just celebrities. And they started seeing, how lucrative this business could be. And I really started with some of the names you mentioned, helping them with a blog and helping them monetize their blog, which then led into, Instagram campaigns and things like that. So I was really, figuring it out along the way because it was all so new. And as I was simultaneously growing Simply, I was growing my roster of celebrity clients. And then about 5 years into building Simply, I had a baby and realized I don't think I can work 24/7 and literally not have a second off or take a vacation. I was kind of losing my mind. So I was on one of my many walks with my daughter, who was a few months old at the time, and decided I wanted to sell my business. And a few months later, after just sending some cold emails and again, figuring it out along the way, ended up selling my business 5 years after I launched it and sold to a company called Socialite, which was one of the premier influencer marketing and talent management agencies. And yeah, I stayed on, obviously, and ended up becoming the president of Socialite a few years later. Um, Socialite then got acquired by a company called Dolphin Entertainment, which is a publicly traded company on NASDAQ. And another company that was also under Dolphin was called Be Social. And I've known the owner of Be Social, Allie, for many years being in this industry. And we came together since we were doing essentially the same thing under one roof and became the digital department 2 years ago.
Wow, I love okay, there's so many things to unpack here. I love everything about this. One, you talked about you had your sister help you get into the industry, but you wanted to help those other people that didn't have a hand. I love that because like me building my own business, like I started from the ground up, didn't have any it's not a handout or anything, but the connections. So it's
Yeah.
always nice to help someone with that. So you being the connect the dot girl. I love that for you. Did you guys with the digital department, how'd you come up with the name? How'd you decide like, oh, we need to be stronger together? Like what even made you guys come together like that?
You know what? I mean, we hired a fantastic branding agency, and it was many months of, how about this name? How about that name? Oh, I love this name. Shoot, it's taken. We don't have, the rights to use this one. So it was a lot of trial and error to figure out A, what name was available, and B, what looked good, and all of those things. So finally we landed on the digital department. We call ourselves TDD. And we love it. And fun fact, it was right before Taylor Swift came out with her logo for the, what is it? The Poets?
The
What's
yes, poet department.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's
Can't
like
think of her name.
very similar logo. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, did Taylor Swift copy us?"
Oh my gosh. Did she get inspo from you guys? Very much
Maybe, I don't know.
love that. You need to ask her if she needs some help with her brand partnerships.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
That's awesome. That is so incredible. I love that. That's something too for all of my listeners out there. We have a mix of people that are just getting started in the creator economy, and then there's people that are, like me, who've been doing it for a while and they've got a steady income. What you need to know is Sarah just said they went through a lot of trial and error to even come up with their name. So everyone thinks that you just all of a sudden snap your fingers and you have this business, but you don't. It takes years, which you went after something that you were passionate about, and then you learned a way to make money from doing it. And I love that. And I think that's what most of us creators do. So, all right, let's kind of talk about the creator economy. Um, what do you think is happening right now with influencers and creators? Like, what's the current landscape of influencer marketing right now in 2025?
Yeah, I mean, the landscape is definitely extremely saturated,
Mm,
right? When I started, there was maybe a couple management companies, a handful of influencers in LA where I was, and now honestly everyone is an influencer in some way. I think also brand budgets have, you know, quadrupled or even more since the beginning, and they've shifted in a lot of ways, and the industry has grown tremendously. But what we're seeing in this current moment of influencer marketing is you know I would say it's kind of the rise of the mid-tier creator and the rise of the niche creator. So a lot of the creators that we're seeing consistently be booked are in that 100 to 500,000 follower range on Instagram specifically. Um, the macro creators, you really have to prove conversion, and you have to prove the worth behind, you know, the pay. It's the days are no longer of just throwing rates out with no support and data behind it. So that's why we're seeing a lot of the mid tier get booked really consistently, and even more micro creators, because if you think about it from a brand perspective, they could book 20 to 50 creators at the same rate they could book either a big celebrity or someone with a macro level following and price tag. So That's what we're seeing currently. We're seeing a lot of new brands enter the space, emerging brands, and obviously the big players are still very heavily invested in influencer marketing.
When the creators come, the influencers and creators, are you guys looking for them to, like, at that first time when you're speaking to them, or just seeing their name on your email or whatever, are they coming to you with like, hey, I'd like to work with you, here's what I've done? Are they showing their worth there, or are you starting a conversation first? Like, how does that even get, how do you guys work with that?
Yeah, we have a pretty robust vetting process before we sign someone. We want to make sure that we can be successful for them. It's a two-way street. We're a team. We put a lot of time and energy into all of our talent. So we look for engagement rate. We look for how many brands are reaching out to them on a weekly and monthly basis. That's really telling. If no brands are reaching out, it's going to be hard if we're cold pitching and to get that feedback back as well. Having a good amount of warm leads really helps. And then we look at their last year, brand partnerships, the year to date partnerships, um, what's their content look like? We can help with strategy. We have that in house. We can also do their affiliate and help with a lot of things. But if they're not someone that loves social media and wants to commit to this as a full-time job, it's really hard for us. When we're sending their content to a brand and they're like, well, they haven't posted consistently or they haven't posted in weeks in their feed. How are we going to work together if they're not consistent? So we look for a lot of things: consistency, engagement rate, what their brand partners are, what their content looks like, what platforms are they on, are they diversified, do they have a newsletter, do they have a Substack, do they have a podcast, do they have any other things happening in their life that could help us help them. Are they pregnant, are they getting married, are they any big life moments, where do they live? We look for a high US following. A lot of our clients are brands looking to activate in the US. So those are just, I would say, some of the major things that we look for when we're signing someone here.
I love that. Are brands still prioritizing TikTok and Instagram? Or are you seeing like a shift toward newer platforms?
Yeah, I would say predominantly our at the digital department, a lot of our campaigns are Instagram and TikTok.
Okay.
There's some agencies that focus more on YouTube and other platforms, but I would say our bread and butter is definitely Instagram, TikTok. Um, we
That's what I
can
would.
do others, but that's kind of our like meat and potatoes.
Yeah. I'm thinking that YouTube is climbing up there, with the long form video and the YouTube shorts, but nothing like TikTok and Instagram. Okay. What about, as far as getting paid as a creator? Let's talk about pay, because that's what everyone wants to know, is how much are they getting paid? What are the common mistakes? So, let's kind of deep dive into that. What are some mistakes that creators make when they're pitching themselves for these brand deals?
Oh, when they're pitching themselves or
Yeah.
having
Well,
someone like us pitch?
either or, like,
Yeah.
when they're pitching, yeah, let's talk about you working with them. Like, what are some common mistakes you see? It's kinda different because you're at a different league than someone pitching themselves, obviously.
Yeah.
We can even look at it flip side, from brands pitching you guys to use your influencers. Like, what are just some mistakes you see in your industry?
Yeah, I would say a few key things to look out for if you're pitching yourself, and let's take it that way because I think most of your audience is probably pitching themselves and looking, to get their own brand deals. I would say try to get them to throw out the number first, because what if you throw out, here, I'll do it for 5,000, and meanwhile in their head they had 20,000 for a budget. You always want to try to either get them on the phone or get them to at least give you some sort of number. If they push and they say, just send me your rates, you should have a rate card. There's so much data out there now. You can kind of calculate what roundabout way your rate should be. Maybe it's not exact, but I think doing some diligence and figuring out what your rate should be based on your engagement and your following and all of that. So you have a media kit and your rate card. Um, and then obviously there's always a negotiation from there. And I think Also, making sure that you look at every piece of the campaign. It's not just an Instagram story. Is there a follow-up slide? How many slides? Is there exclusivity, and for how long? Is there usage rights? Are they going to take that piece of content and use it on paid, their paid channels, or boost it? Like, all of these things are something to really think about and look at, because that could increase your rate. If they're, using your content in perpetuity for their advertising, and then you all of a sudden see it and you're like, wait, I only charged them $1,000 for a story. I didn't see that part of it. So really reading every contract and every piece of deliverable and asking those questions ahead of time so there's no surprises.
I don't know if this was ever true. There was like some talk about it, but Travis Kelsey, did you hear about that where like he did this ad and it was the perpetuity? Uh,
Mm.
and they ended up, once he got, I mean, he was already famous. We know that. He's a great football player. But once he started dating Taylor Swift, they started replaying his ad again. Did you hear anything about that?
Oh, but that is, yep, that's
Yes.
a great example.
That's a great example, guys. Like he had agreed to this ad, and there was a clause in there that he did not pay attention to, which is probably, something with the digital department too, is I bet you guys protect your creators, your influencers, where someone like who's doing it themselves, they don't know all the things to look for. So it's really great to pick your brain on that. But those
Yeah.
are very important things to think about. Because if you blow up, I think about this all the time because I mean, I haven't blown up, but if there's like this really good brand partnership and they're offering a really big rate and they're like, the what is it called when they can use it whenever?
Perpetuity.
Yeah. Is it called like include exclusive perpetuity or something like that? Or they just, what do they say? What is that we want to watch? That word that they say, that phrase.
Well, we don't want to sign on to anything in perpetuity because that's forever.
Okay. Okay.
You
That's it.
always wanna limit it with, like, 6 months, a month, 10 days, whatever that amount of time is, you
Yes.
wanna have an end date.
Yes, and
So,
but apparently Travis Kelce did not look at that, but
oh,
I know, I gotta do research on that because I can't remember if it was true or not, but I read it in a couple things, and I think it was, but,
oh, wow.
when we talk about a media kit, what makes a strong media kit or a rate card?
Mhm. For a media kit, I would say it's almost like when you're putting on makeup, right? You play up your best features.
Yes.
So in a media kit, like say your engagement rate is not that good. Don't put your engagement rate. Maybe your follower count is higher. So put the things that you want the brand to see, and don't put the things you don't want them to see. If they need to ask for it, great. We can always provide that, but take your best features and put them in your media kit. So a beautiful photo. Make sure in your media kit all of your content pillars are shown. So if you have 6 content pillars and it's family, relationships, travel, beauty, fashion, whatever those are, make sure they're all shown in your media kit so the brand can see that they can easily sync into your content in a natural and organic way. And then again, any sort of numbers that you can add in there. So obviously your social following, but if you have a newsletter, add in those numbers, add in your open rate, add in click throughs. If you have any affiliate data, if you're selling a lot on Amazon or LTK or ShopMy, include some of those really exciting sales that, hey, I posted this shirt and I got 200 sales from it. Link clicks are really important. So if you have great link clicks, include that in the media kit, because if you think about it from a brand perspective, a lot of brands use influencer marketing to sell product, right? Some do brand awareness, which we love them, but a lot are very focused on ROI and how they can get that return back by using the influencer to promote the content. So, thinking kind of from a brand perspective and what to put in there and what a brand might be looking for.
Yes, okay, that's good feedback, and then as far as, like, how long it should be, is it usually a one-pager, two-pager?
It can be, I mean, if you have a lot of press, then you can include press in there, and that could be a couple of pages.
Okay,
But I think short and sweet is always the best. People don't have an attention span nowadays, as we know, hence TikTok blowing up.
yeah,
So I would say, jam as much into a page or two as possible.
okay.
Um, and Canva, you can do really beautiful designs in Canva and create it on your own.
Yes, side note, Canva, you can type in their media kit, and there's a ton of templates for you to play around with. Now, if you are trying to stand out, obviously you can get those for inspo, but try to like beef it up yourself and make it your own so you stand out. Okay, what's one thing creators can do today to immediately become more brand friendly?
That's a great question. Um, I would say one thing would be looking at your page as a whole, because again, thinking about everyone's attention span, when a brand or agency lands on your page, they need to immediately know what they're getting when they come there. Same to get new followers, right? So if you someone tags you, you click on their page and you look at it and you're like, I don't know who they are or what they do or what they're about. You want to make sure that is like screaming off of your page. So taking those content pillars and making sure every 6 posts have one of those content pillars in it. So, just keeping that top of mind when you're doing in-feed content to always be including that. Um, I think organically tagging brands to become visible. There's lots of platforms right now that it's called social listening. So they're listening to see, oh, did this creator ever organically tag me? And they can get notifications to see all of that, which is pretty wild. So some brands, they'll look and be like, oh, they never organically tagged us. They're not really a fan of the brand. It could be as simple as following the brands that you love and engaging with their content. It's so simple, but a lot of people don't do that. And building those relationships in person. We actually host an event called Brand Edit, and that's exactly what we do there. We do it in multiple cities, and brands can set up at our event, and then influencers come, and it really builds that two-way relationship as opposed to just an email or DM. And I think that goes such a long way to have a face to the name behind the brand, and same with the influencer. Um, so trying to get out, networking events, attend their events, support, and also, getting their PR gifting, and tagging them organically and unboxing it and really showing support both ways instead of just like, I'm not doing anything for free. I'm
Oh,
not tagging you. Like that attitude is not gonna be fruitful, I don't
no.
think. It's spreading the love. And obviously if it gets to a point where you feel taken advantage of and they just continue to not book you for a campaign, that's a different story. But I think the beauty of being an influencer is to share all of these cool things that are a part of your life and the gifting that you get and the events that you can attend and all of these really fun things about being a creator.
100% agree with that. I just got a partnership with Instagram's creators account.
Mhm.
That's 20
Oh,
million followers.
cool.
I'm so excited. But I was talking to my husband. I was like, I want to know how they found me, blah, blah, blah. And then I thought about it and I was like, oh my gosh, I've been tagging them naturally in stuff that I create.
Yep.
And I truly do think that's what helped bridge the gap there, and what helped them reach out to me was because I am not constantly, but whenever it seems fit and authentic and raw, I will tag it in some of my content. So definitely agree with you there about tagging things, and don't have that attitude that, oh, they're not paying me, I'm not going to share about it, because that's why sometimes influencer marketing gets that bad rap, is because there's some people out there that will only post if they're getting paid, and you see hashtag ad and it's like, I don't want to see that all the time. I want you to be your true self, and if that comes with a paid partnership, amazing, but don't make it inauthentic. Agree with that.
Yeah, it's very noisy, and how do you stand out amongst tens of thousands of influencers? Get in their DMs, tag them, and build a relationship. Like, we're
Literally.
getting away from the days of, "I love a relationship," hence, the business I started, and I think that is 90% of it, is really having strong relationships and, um, all of that. I can preach it all day long, so
Agreed. All right, let's talk about getting seen, standing out as a creator. What makes a creator, for you as an agency, what makes them stand out to you? What would make you want to be like, oh my gosh, I do want to work with her or him?
I think being different, like, it's really hard to be different nowadays. So for us, I mentioned it earlier, we're really interested in people that have a niche. So we actually brought on a business about a year and a half ago called Glow Lab, and they represented all dermatologists. And So we have them now under the digital department, and we represent maybe like 20 plus dermatologists and skincare experts. And it's just cool because it's different. And I love following them because they give you skincare advice, they're creators, but also have this expertise and niche. Um, we also partnered with an agency that represents all of the biggest hairstylists, makeup artists to celebrities. So it's been fun working with them because they're creators, but also they have an expertise and a niche. Um, and brands really like that. There's so many just traditional creators out there, which are great. But a lot of brands want that kind of like stamp of approval from an expert. So, like we just signed a gut health doctor. We have all different types of niches and specialties. We have a lot of reality stars, but one is a nurse. So we're like, let's play into you being a nurse, but also have the reality star life. So that's one of her content pillars. So I think having something different than, every kind of run of the mill creator is something that stands out for us because I think it's something we can build on. It's something brands are really interested in working with as well.
That's funny because one of the questions I had for you was how important is it for creators to niche down versus just being a lifestyle focused creator. So I did notice like I used to watch The Bachelor like religiously. I don't anymore, but I still keep up with it and I know that you guys represent a lot of them.
Yeah.
So when you pull them on, like is being a reality star their niche or do you do things like what you just said? You pulled out that she was a nurse. Like how do you work with those type of people?
Yeah, exactly that. Like, great that you were on a show, and, that's why everyone follows them, right? Is to follow
Yes.
the love story, and that's always gonna be number 1 for them and their followers' interests, but we always wanna find something different. So, whether it's following their love story with a new person or, marriage or kids, or if they love gardening or if they love, home reno, or there can be so many different things, but we need another angle. So that's why we always talk about our pillars with our talent when we onboard them, or every year we do a new strategy on like how we want to show up on social media. So yeah, I think it's having a story outside of reality, and a lot of the more successful ones, I think, have kind of leaned away from being this reality star and really transformed into more of a lifestyle content creator.
Yeah. What about do you guys when you're working with brands, do you guys balance between like trending content or is it more like authentic storytelling content? Like I know for me, I share a lot of trending audio for people because trending audio works on Instagram and TikTok. Are you guys worried about trends when it comes to content creation?
Not as much. I mean, it's great to hop on some of the TikTok trends just to, stay relevant, but, some creators are like, "I don't wanna do the dances on TikTok. Is that okay?"
Yep.
And we're like, "Yes, absolutely. You have to lean into what's organically you and who you are online and who you are as a person. We never will tell you, 'No, you have to do this, like, TikTok dance to be relevant.'" I think there's so many other ways you can do that, not just following the trend. But yeah, the sounds and the songs and those sort of things I think do help, but I don't think it's, what's gonna make you successful.
Inspired. Yeah, that's the same like when people come to me for influence marketing studio, we manage social media for businesses or busy entrepreneurs. And that is one of the first things sometimes is I'm not going to dance on Reels or TikTok.
Yeah,
Someone's like, "No, that's totally okay. Like you don't have to." Sometimes we can still jump on trends if it ties into your story somehow, but that it's not required to grow on
right,
social media. You know what I mean?
right.
I like doing it because I'm fun and out there cheerleader, I love dancing, but if that's not you, you don't have to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Love that. All right. Let's get into growth strategies. As far as growing and monetizing in 2025, what strategies are helping creators do that this year?
Yeah, actually, we've seen it a lot. We acquired another business this year to launch our affiliate division, and we've seen those creators just grow so much, not only on their affiliate platforms, but on their social as well. And what a lot of them are implementing are broadcast channels.
Mm,
Obviously, the consistent sales posts and things like that, um, and becoming a resource for shopping. So those are the creators that I'm seeing growing in terms of following really rapidly, as well as those that are doing, like, I've seen some more growth when people are doing collaboration posts with, other creators that are in kind of have a different sort of niche than they do, but similar. Like, there's similarities, but there's a lot of crossover in terms of followers. Um, so they help gain new followers by doing some of those collaboration posts. But the affiliate creators are just, it's crazy how much they grow through, posting all of these affiliate links, because a lot of times when we work with creators that aren't in the affiliate space at all, they're like, "I don't wanna sell to my audience, I'm gonna be annoying." Like, but these affiliate creators, they're just gaining so many new followers because they're finding them from LTK or ShopMy or Amazon or all of these other platforms, and they're just consistently talking about what sales are happening, talking about what clothes they're wearing, their beauty routine, all of these different things that people want an influencer or, someone they look up to's opinion on what to buy.
When I'm on Amazon, I'll go to Amazon storefronts from people I follow just because, like, I don't always know what to even search for.
Yeah. We're busy and it's like, all right, I love her style. Let me just click on all of her affiliate platforms and just buy it all, add to
Yes.
cart.
Like,
Done.
shop for me. Yeah, I love that. That's so funny. That kinda answers my next question, which was, are creators undervaluing affiliate marketing? Which I can say myself, I'll get affiliate marketing emails all the time, and it's like, I don't have the time for that. But you're kinda changing my opinion, like, actually, maybe you do, because that is a way to be extremely helpful and add value to someone's life by offering something that I already like.
Yeah, and I mean, yes, there's a lot of spam that comes out with like, "Oh, sign up for this brand and you get a 30% commission. You have to set up a whole portal and all."
Yes.
Like, I would say no to those,
Okay.
but do it through LTK, ShopMy, Amazon. They have every brand that you could ever imagine. Obviously, everything's on Amazon. Um, and make money while you're at it. It's talking about things that you use on a daily basis anyway.
I need to get back to that. I did a test for, like, LTK and Mavely just to see how hard it would be to make $100, and
Yeah.
truly, I made $100, like, in a week from just sharing what I was wearing each day. So, and would you say for someone under 10,000 followers, I know we're all like, "Oh, you gotta get to your first 10,000 followers before you start selling," which isn't true, by the way, but do you feel like affiliate's a good way to get into influencer marketing, like, before you've got that huge following, or what's your thoughts on that?
100%. Yes. You can use Facebook and your friends and family might buy the egg cooker that you use every day on Amazon. Like, there's so many ways that you can monetize. There's so many different platforms too for micro creators where you can make 50 bucks or you get a free bottle of wine if you post about it, or, you know, there's so many different platforms out there. Just use Chat GPT and search, micro creators, and then you can log in and you get all of the different opportunities. And $50 might turn into 100 and 250, and then that's how you continue growing. You can also do UGC, where you can make extra money just creating content and not actually posting it on your channels. Um, and then, yeah, again, affiliate. I think there you would like fall out of your seat right now if I told you what some of these people make on a monthly basis. Just affiliate. No brand deals, just
Can you
affiliate.
can you give us an average? Can you give us anything?
I mean, the highest I've seen was over 500,000 a month.
Shut your freaking mouth. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Shopping posts every day and no brand deals. That's
Wow.
it.
And, there's almost like taboo, like, if you're an affiliate over an influencer, like, there's some kind of, like, you're better than, but
Mhm.
you speaking that number out loud, it's like, actually, you could make really good money here. Okay, this should inspire you guys. If you're listening, go at least sign up for one affiliate marketing platform and just
Yes.
try it. Just share what you like. Um any predictions for influencer marketing by the end of 2025? So the end of this year, you think anything crazy is going to happen? Should we lean into something?
I think the new thing to lean into is Substack.
You've said that. What is Substack?
Substack, it's a kind of like the old school blog. You can charge though, like you can have it for free, and then certain posts you can put under a paywall and you can charge either a monthly fee, um, so you can monetize it, but you can also put affiliate links in there. It's kind of like going back to the old school blogging days. And I think it's a really great way to just have longer form content than just a TikTok or your in feed. And you also get to own your audience, right? So you get everyone's email addresses, which is gold. Any way you can get your fans' email addresses, like look what happened with TikTok. It almost went away and people could have lost their entire livelihood. So I think taking back what yours, because a lot of these platforms you don't own and they could go away tomorrow. And
What's your favorite creator success story from a campaign that you've worked on, like, recently or anytime, really?
oh my gosh, so many. And I haven't really been in the day-to-day of management for a while.
Right.
So I mean, we see, I guess one that comes to mind first would be Alan Bernstein. He's from Dancing with the Stars. We just signed him um maybe in the last year, and he was getting like a decent amount of brand deals, but his manager at TDD has just, they created this incredible relationship. They've become really good friends, and he's, I think, like triple or quadruple the amount of brand deals that he's gotten, and he's worked with like all of his dream brands. He's like booked and busy and so happy and just so thankful for everything that we've done. So it's been exciting to see, because typically male creators, it's a little bit harder to book deals for than female. But we've just, I mean, it's been really exciting to see his growth. And I'm sure Dancing with the Stars has helped last season and, continue to build. But I
Well,
think,
and his personality, like, he's like a warm, fuzzy teddy bear, like, and I think that
yeah,
shines through his content as well.
yeah. And I think it's also, the relationship with a manager and the talent.
Mm.
Um, you have to have that really close relationship to work together, and texting all day, and how to monetize and how to strategize, what's going to work, what's not work, what brands we want to reach out to. Let's collaborate. Like, okay, organically tag them. I'm going to get gifting and then I'm going to reach out. So it's really a partnership and a team. And I think that's a really good example of how we've worked with the talent to really grow them as a team together.
I love that. That's awesome. You guys are really doing something good. Okay, as we close out, I got a few rapid fire questions and then we will end this thing. Creator red flag. What would be a red flag for you?
Not posting consistently.
Oh, yep. What about a green flag? Like, you would want to work with them.
If they respond as quickly as I do.
Oh, yes, girl. Love that and agree.
Business mind, fast,
Yeah,
on it, hungry,
go-getter,
give
hustler.
me it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. What's one thing every creator should stop doing in 2025?
I don't know. I don't wanna offend anyone if I say this.
True.
Okay.
I can do a nice one is stop ignoring your comments. Like, it's just
Oh,
rude,
that's one. Yes.
you know?
Stop hiding your likes.
Yeah.
Stop, because it's such a that's another red flag, but, like, every time if I look on someone's page and their likes and their comments are hidden,
Yeah.
goodbye.
What
What
are
are
you
you hiding?
hiding?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
we
would say
both just said that. She's influencer marketing. I have a social media agency. Stop hiding your likes.
yeah,
Underrated income stream for creators, which I think we kind of talked about.
yeah. Affiliate.
Affiliate. Yep.
Call us if you need help. We
Yes.
can do all your content for you and take all of that off your plate.
I'm calling you as soon as this podcast is over. Biggest myth about influencer marketing to close us out for rapid fire.
Oh, it's so easy. All you're doing is traveling and having fun.
Yes. My
It's
grandpa
called,
was
what am I
like,
supposed to do? Post on Zoom?
yes,
Uh, stressed out?
yes.
No, it's a full-time job for our industry as well as the creators. It doesn't stop. These creators look like they're just enjoying life, but there is so much work that goes behind it. It's the editing, you're the model, you're the photographer, you're the analytics, the keeping the organic post. I mean, it is 50 jobs in one. So
It's
it is
50
not.
jobs in one. Yes, you are right. My husband finally gets it because I took him to a creator event last year and he's like, oh my gosh, I see why you want to record everything. I'm like, yeah, we need B roll. behind the scenes. And then my mother-in-law, she's having to watch the kids for us this summer because my youngest is finally out of pre-K. And I think she's finally understanding too, like I'm not just dancing on Instagram, like I've got meetings, podcast recording, masterminds. So that is so true. People underestimate what all goes into all of this. Sarah, you are a joy to talk to. How can people connect with you? Where would you want them to go visit after this conversation? Tell us all the things.
Oh, well, thank you. Thedigitaldepartment.com. It's thedigitaldept.com. So you can find all of our links there for our events, our brand strategy division, our talent management, our roster, all of it, affiliate, and follow us on LinkedIn. I mean, link, you can follow me on LinkedIn, Digital Department. You can follow on Instagram and TikTok. It's the Digital DPT. And then my Instagram is Sarah P. Boyd. So follow along. I'm not posting a ton. You'll see a lot of my family and my travel when I'm not sitting behind Zoom.
I
So
Before I talked to you, I looked up your Instagram and started following you. I do see you travel a lot. Is that something you like to
it's
do?
just, I do. It's just honestly the only time I post is when I'm traveling. The rest, I'm
Cool.
just, it's not that exciting. It's
Head
just
down working.
here. Yeah.
Mhm.
But yes, I love to travel. I just got back from Santorini, Greece, and it was the most amazing trip I've ever been on in my life.
Bless you. And
So
how many kids do you have?
I have 3. So I have a daughter that's 9 and then 2 stepsons. One is 20 and one is 24.
Wow, you're an amazing woman to do what you do and have children. I just know how much that takes out of us, decision fatigue and, like making decisions for them and the business and being a go-getter. So much kudos to you and what you've built. It's incredible. And I can't tell you how my heart pitter pattered when I heard from Lindsay that you guys were interested in talking with me because I just the digital department, I've always looked up to you guys and what you guys do. It's really amazing. So I hope you guys will go visit the digital department, learn about what they do. Sign up for their email list too, because you guys send out very good newsletters. And I always learn something from them. And then the events too. I want to get to one as soon as I can. But thank you so much for being on. I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you. And you actually reminded me when you said that if you're a creator listening, our brand strategy team, there is a link on our website. You can link it, go to the link through our Instagram as well to sign up for paid and unpaid brand deals through the digital department. So go sign up. They'll send newsletters out for all of the campaigns. We work with Crocs, we work with all different types of brands in many different capacities. So even if you're a micro creator, sign up, and that's a great way to kind of be considered for different campaigns as well.
Amazing. I love it. All right. Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you. Thank
Oh,
you.
this is fun.